Hi everybody, my name is Angelina. So welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a little bit of an update video and where I've been and how I've been doing. So I came back from Florida about three or so weeks ago because now it's September 2nd. So basically I had a good time in Florida. It was really nice. The weather was really warm and I enjoyed my time. It was a real good time. So anyways, I got back and I just wanted to take a couple days to relax and stuff because, I was gone for 2 weeks, so it was quite a while to, I just wanted to just relax a little bit. So I relaxed for about 2 days, and then out of the rest of the time, like out of the fourth day came along, I started to not feel really good. I was having like a lot of chest pain for like 3 days, so I wasn't doing any videos and I felt really bad about it, but I just was not really feeling good at all. It was really uncomfortable. I really didn't do much of anything. I just kind of just laid on the floor and did absolutely nothing because I was like in so much pain, and I just I didn't really want to do anything. I thought it was my acid because I do have acid reflux, and, I just should try to lay off the hot stuff, which is kind of hard for me because I really enjoy it. But, anyhow, I, took the acid medicine, I took Tums, and, nothing was really helping me. So I just finally figured enough is enough, and, I should just go get looked at just to be sure it wasn't my heart because, I got really nervous, and that's what I do. I just get nervous right away. So, okay. I go to MedExpress, which is like an urgent care. So I go and they're like, yeah, they couldn't find anything wrong with me. They gave me like an EKG, chest x-ray, and they're like, we're not for sure if it's your heart because they couldn't do blood work or that kind of blood work, I guess. So I was like, okay. And they're like, but we don't really see anything wrong, but we're not 100%. So I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't really help me a little bit, but, I just kind of was like, all right. Sorry if you hear my dog in the background. That was him. He just plopped himself down, so sorry about that. Now he's yawning. But, I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but all right. And she's like, yeah, we really don't know. So I'm like, all right. So then I was like, she's like, but if you really want to be sure, you should try going up to the hospital because they could give you more, they could do all the things they could do up there. And I'm like, okay. So I go up there and I spend about 7 hours there because it's just ridiculous. I was so mad. It's just like, I understand that they take more serious people. Like, I understand that. Like, that's completely okay. My problem is if they knew nothing was wrong with me, they could have just sent me home instead of me sitting there for like 7 hours, which was kind of annoying because they really didn't do much of anything. So, okay. So this time goes by and, I check in and I tell her that, I came from MedExpress and that, what was wrong, my chest and everything. She said that the other doctor said, oh, I'll call them to let them know you're on your way. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So I tell her and she looks at me like confused, like she's like, okay. So I tell her, and I was having chest pain, and then they called me back and, they did an EKG. And then that was it. And then they just said, oh, go back in the waiting room. We'll call you when, to come back again. So I'm like, okay. So about 2 or so hours go by just for that. And then they were like, oh, Angelina. And I'm like, okay. So I go into like triage. They ask me all over again, what's wrong, this and that. Do I smoke this? These questions. I answer them, and then they just take my blood pressure, my pulse, and my temperature. And then they goes, okay, yeah, your chest is hurting you. And I said, yeah. And he's like, okay. And then I explained to them they did all that at MedExpress too, so I told them all of that. And they're like, oh, okay, so we're going to get, some blood work from you. So I'm like, okay. So they're like, go back there. The lady right there, said her name. I don't really remember. They're like, oh, she'll take your blood. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I sit in the chair. They take my blood, no problem. Then they tell me, oh, go back out. So I'm like, okay. I thought this was weird because, like, they didn't want me to give, like, a urine sample or anything like that because I seen other people getting called and, they didn't do any of that. So I'm like, okay, I guess I don't have to. So, I go to the bathroom, whatever. So I'm waiting about 4 or 5 hours still in the waiting room, about 5 hours, 6 hours goes by. They finally call my name. I finally go back there, and I'm sitting in a gurney in the middle of the hallway because they're so busy. And, you know, I asked for a drink of water, and they're like, no. And, you know, I understand because they didn't know if I was sick or not. And, you know, I understand that. But this just, I don't know, just seemed kind of not very nice because they said, oh, we'll let you know soon. But they were so busy and it took them over 2 hours because this one nurse was supposed to be my nurse, but she, like, wasn't even my nurse. So she seen me for like 2 seconds and that was it. And this other lady came over and she's like, oh, I'll be your nurse. I'm like, okay. You know, and she's like, well, what's wrong? Again, all over again. I tell her everything, my chest and this and that. She's like, okay, I'll tell the doctor. So, and then she's like, oh, can you give a urine sample? And I'm like, really? I'm like, I just went to the bathroom. I'm like, you have to wait till I have to go again. Sorry if that's TMI. I just want to give you a little update of where, you know, how I've been and what I've been doing. Sorry. So I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm like, no problem. It's not that I didn't want to do it. I mean, of course I wanted to do it. I mean, you know, that sounds wrong. I mean, I was willing to give is what I meant because, you know, I want to just get out of there, you know. So I had to wait till I had to go. Then I finally give it to her, whatever. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you a chest x-ray and give you the GI cocktail. I'm like, okay. So I take that, get everything. They say, you know, my heart, everything was fine. So they just give me the GI stuff for, like, you know, kind of like numbed your throat and my mouth. It was really weird. That helped somewhat. So I did with that, and that was it. And then they gave me some, like, a Pevacet or something for your stomach or acid reflux. That was, like, it didn't really do much, but. So then they're like, yeah, we'll just send you on your way and, you know, make a doctor's appointment. So I make a doctor's appointment and, like, okay. So the next 2 days, I went home and, you know, it was okay, but it was still bothering me. Like, it just, when I swallowed, I felt like something was just in my, I felt like something was just stuck in here and, you know, and it just was really uncomfortable. And I really didn't want to eat because it just made me feel, just didn't like it. Like, kind of like when you're choking, but you're not. If that makes any sense, it probably doesn't. You're probably like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But, yeah, so it was kind of like, I just hated it. So that stayed for like another 2-3 days. And it was just like, hated it. So, you know, I tell my doctor and they're like, oh, you can't see your family doctor. You got to see like the physician's assistant. I'm like, okay, no problem. So, you know, we go over everything. She goes, oh, you're at the hospital. I'm like, yes. And she asked me about the acid medicine I'm taking. I'm like, yes. I'm like, but it's not helping. And she's like, oh, try this one. And I take this other one now. And it's only still once a day. It helps, you know. I'm happy because, like, it's gone away. I think I had, like, an episode where it just acted up really badly, and it just was really awful. Like, just, there was a lot of discomfort, and I just wished it would go away, and, you know, I'm finally back to not hurting anymore, thankfully. Hopefully it stays away, and I just try to eat, you know, try to eat normal stuff, and not do that. So that's where I've been and how I've been. So I'm doing a lot better than I was, and it's been a while since I did a video, you know, I'm sorry about that. But I did put up 2 other videos, you know, what I got on vacation. I filmed that before actually, you know, before I actually was in pain. So that was up before that, like 2 days after vacation or a day. I figured I better just film that. So, and then I just got a phone, so I got a new phone, so I was happy about that. So other than that, nothing really much is going to be new. Today is Friday. It's like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I'm not really sure. No, it's like 11:30. It's not Friday yet. But anyways, I have a couple of freebies that I have gotten that I want to show you guys. I know it's kind of like a mixed